Hello planners, thank you so much for joining me in today's live video. Today I'm going to be setting up my December habit tracker in my A5 planner. So let's just get started. Hello, I'm Marianne, and if you're new to my channel, I plan, habit track, well-being, and budget. So hopefully you can get some inspiration and ideas for your own planning. Now, anything that I do mention in this video, I'll have it in the description below. So do make sure to check that out if you want to know anything about what I mentioned in today's video. Now, I have been habit tracking in my planner for a while now, for 5 years. So let me quickly show you my desk. So here I have quite a few different habit trackers. In the beginning, you can see, so this one was 2017 in my bullet journal. Didn't have much success. Here, what's this one? Look, I think I only lasted half a week in August of 2017. Again, only a little bit here. Now, the reason why, I'm showing you these is if you are going to be new to habit tracking and you don't get to fill it in all of the time, it's a long journey. So it's not something that you can get right away. So just do make sure you give yourself grace if you want to start habit tracking. This one is 2018 and this was in May. Another one here, I did a little bit better. Now we have 2019 in my bullet journal. Lots of missing marks on there. And what is that? June 2019. Who knows what was going on that time? And then we are in, this one, go back 2018, July. A few different things. Some got tracked, some didn't. And in December, a little bit better. So, and then of course, here we are the month before in November. So the reason why I wanted to show you that was because habit tracking can seem like it's a daunting task. I know when I feature my habit tracker on my Instagram page that I do get a few comments that it is a waste of time, that you can actually, why don't you track it digitally, whether on your phone or an Excel spreadsheet? So let me first address let me just take this one off for a second. Let me first address the digital versus paper. Now, either way is fine. So if you want to track your habits on an app, I know there's quite a few different apps, or if you want to create your own spreadsheet, that is fine. You've got to use what works for you. For me personally, the tracking of habits is in itself the art of putting pen or markers to paper is what I love because it's quite therapeutic. It's also a form of self-care for me, having something to focus on, maybe a distraction for when your mind is cloudy, as well as for me, it's a form of reward. So when I've done a task or I've completed a project, for me, that reward is playing with my stationery and my planner. So it brings me joy. So just do make sure if you are going to plan to track your habits, that it's something that you enjoy, and then it is not, something that's difficult. Sorry, I'm just making sure that my son doesn't come out of his room. I did ask him to stay in there until Mum has finished videotaping. Now, so the question is in my thumbnail, is habit tracking a waste of time? Well, they say that things that you measure gets improved. So Peter Drucker is actually a management theorist, and this is a quote that he said 40 years ago. So if you want to, stick to a habit, making a good, simple, and effective thing of tracking it is a really great idea. So, you know, it's great to be able to see visually how you're going. And so, you know, it's something that is, for me, has been really helpful to keep me on track. So let me just add my, does this work? Let me see. That's a little bit better. So here we are in December, and this is my habit tracker. So let's just get started, and we'll talk a little bit more about how I track my habits. Apologies if I am a little bit over the place. My mouse wasn't working, hence why I had to start a little bit later. I changed batteries. So if I seem a little bit flustered, it's because I am. But here we are, and I appreciate you being here. If you are here, thank you so much. Card Pirate Creations. I'm not too sure of your first name, so I'll let me know in the chat what your first name is. Oh, that's of course if you do want to share that. So then I'm not calling you by a handle. I feel like it's not as personable. But and same with your self-budgeting mama. Thank you so much for joining me. Hello. Hi, Jewish Planner Mom. I am feeling a lot better today. And I think rest and everything like that is very important. Um, yes. When I get those, when I used to get those comments on Instagram of, you know, that's a waste of time. I always say it's like, you know, when you're running, you know, running is a form of self care, and you know, you wouldn't go and say to someone, why are you running? It's, you know, you end up at the same place, so what a waste of time. You wouldn't say that to someone. Or if someone is playing a guitar, you know, maybe that's not in a band. So for me, my habit tracking itself, and it can seem a bit daunting having so much on a piece of paper. But it's not as if I fill out the whole month in one go. People forget that, no, it only takes me a couple of seconds to get my pen or my marker to mark it down. So yes, everyone does have an opinion on that one. But I am now embracing those comments, because first of all, not only does it help my engagement on whatever social platform I'm on, but it opens up the conversation, and then we can agree to disagree, or one way doesn't mean another is better. So Stacy, thank you so much, Stacy. All right, I'll note that down, and make sure that I address you. Hello, Elle. Hi, nice to see you here. And Lauren, thank you so much. This is beautiful. Irene, thank you. And Elle, yes, Elle is we are both on an online course, Video Ranking Academy. So that's how we met virtually. So I appreciate you all being here. So now I'll just quickly go back, because I know I babbled on. So I'll quickly put my, let me see if this works. No. Okay, I'll put my screen back on. So this is my V3 Habit, Mood and Sleep Tracker printable download, which is available in my shop, maryanncrest.com. But as always, you do not have to have this particular planner insert to follow along. So hopefully, whether you have your journal or a different planner, that you can follow along with the basic methodology of tracking your habits. Whether you want to establish new ones for the new month or moving into the new year. So I have already embellished my pages with my December heading. So if you have seen or have not seen my December cover page live stream, you can check that out and see how I just did this stripe effect. I also used skinny washi tapes here at the bottom, red and green in Christmas themed colors. And also just added some other stickers along the way to embellish the page. Now I also did already add on here So the initials of each day of the week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and so on. So then that way I know exactly what day it is of the week for those particular dates. And so what I'm going to quickly do, I have done it already. So I'm just I have done it already on my mood and sleep tracker. So as you can see here, Saturday and Sunday, I have used a light grey Tombow marker. So this one is the N95. And I'm just going to highlight Saturday and Sunday. Now, the reason I do this is because that way I can clearly see that it is the weekend. So then, if any of the routines that I have I don't do, I am a little bit more forgiving to myself because it is the weekend, so it's a little bit more relaxed. I'm probably having a nice rest day. So you can do the same with your habit tracker. And then that way you go, well, it's Saturday or it's Sunday. I didn't get to do everything during those 2 days. Okay, so let me just quickly go back, make sure I'm covering everything. Okay, so now, yeah, so really it's important to, let me see, make sure I'm doing this correctly. Yay, I'm back on track. So I am referring to notes on my other screen, so that's why I am looking. I want to make sure I cover everything. Now, as I said, it's important with your habit tracking that you don't make it difficult for yourself. If you put too much on there that you know you can't do in a day, then of course you're setting yourself up for failure. So your habit tracker is there for you, not you for it. So you shouldn't be governed by your habit tracker or your planner for overall. It's there to guide you. So if there are times that you don't get to your tracker because maybe something else has been a priority, then you're being productive. I know a lot of my followers say, oh, I have a hard time tracking my habits. They create one at the beginning of the month and then they don't complete it and they feel like it's a failure. Maybe it's because you've set too much. And unfortunately, with YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, you see all the beautifully curated, fully completed and filled in trackers. And then you feel like, well, how am I going to do that? You saw at the beginning of this video when I first started. So that's 5 years ago. 4 days in a month was when I filled it. But it's important that you keep at it if you want to maintain good habits as well as establish new ones. So, don't be hard on yourself. So let me know in the chat, or if you are watching this on replay, if you already have a habit tracker or some sort of tracking system, whether on paper or digitally. So if you're already tracking, type me. And if you're not tracking yet, put not in the chat. Now, before I write the habits and routines for the new month, what I always do is refer to the previous month. So let's go back to November and just go, and let's take this out so then that way we are not flipping back and forth. So important to track your habit tracker to see how well you've done, because then if there are areas where you weren't doing so well, so you can see some of these rows here I have not completed, so we might have to move it to a different time of the day, or we might have to omit it altogether. So so you can see things that didn't work. And here, see how the word count? That's actually one of my top priorities. But guess what happened in November? I forgot to write it down within my routine or the day. So then it was like an afterthought. And because it's at the bottom, look, I only worked out 3 times in the month of November. And also, it's important that if there are any things that you had put in your tracker that you haven't done, it may be, you can omit it that the next month. You may not, for example, want to track your calorie during December, if you have lots of parties to go to and there's lots of drinking or many events. I know I've got Christmas parties, I've got my cousin's hands, and if, let's say, I'm, tracking my food intake, maybe December might not be a month that I will be fully into it. So your tracker, as I said, is there for you. Move things around, take things out, try again the following month. Just make sure that it is something that you can follow. So now, tracking is really a great tool. So it is not a waste of time because it's like I said earlier, what gets measured gets improved. Now, gives you a bird's eye view of how well you're doing, right? So it can help you it's a great reminder to action your habits. It can also be a motivating factor and rewarding to see that you're making progress. For me, at probably a couple of years ago, I stopped reading, nonfiction books, and it's something that I wanted to do. But now, as you can see here, which one is it? Learn. It's such an established habit of mine now that not doing it feels a little bit off. So it's a great way to see your progress. It's a reward, a form of reward. And so just make sure that it's something easy to follow. Don't put there that today I'm going to run 10 kilometers when you haven't started running in the last year. So just make it easy. Now, I do have quite a bit of habits that I have written. So you don't have to write. I think this planner insert has, I think, 21 rows. You don't have to write everything down. Now, a lot of these habits that I have on here, I already do habitually without even having to think about it or needing a reminder. But the reason that it is there is actually to help anchor or stack on new habits that I want to create. So one of the best ways to establish a new habit is what's called habit stacking. So this is a formula by James Clear from his book Atomic Habits. So what it is use a current habit you have already, and then either before it or after it, stack on a new habit. So for example, for me, once I have meditated in the morning, I'm going to make my bed. And then once I've made my bed, I am going to wash my face. Once I wash my face, I'm going to have breakfast. And then see how you're stacking the habits. So it's like a little building block. So the reason why I do have all these other ones in there is because it's a stepping stone for the next thing. And so it's like a snowball effect. All right, so let's read some of the examples that I have on here. So I have take my pill in the morning, update my trackers. So that's my sleeping and steps tracker, do my morning journal, do my 5-year journal, and then read, learn. So I've got all these things here. So while I'm talking about it, I'm just going to zoom in and I'm actually going to start writing things down. So the first thing I do, I'm just going to see if I can flip this back, is take the pill. I always forget, and even though I have it in the pocket of my planner, it's one of the things that I always forget. So update my trackers. So I'll show you in a second. Update trackers. So I update my mood and sleep tracker. So I also update how many steps I've taken the previous day. Now, on here, a lot of the things here, like I said, I have done habitually already. But the most important things that I make sure I insert in there are the Wheel of Life 7 areas of focus. So in there, so the 7 areas in no particular order is mental, physical, spiritual, family, social, career, and finance. So let me show you. So for mental, I read and learn. For physical, so I need to put this workout somewhere here. Spiritual, I meditate. Social, so connect with family and friends, whether calling them, texting them, meeting up with them for coffee or dinner. Family, so for family, it's my home, cleaning, making sure our place, we only live in a small flat, making sure that it's maintained, because a messy place for me, I think, is one of my triggers. So I want to make sure I don't become a cranky mom and then scream at others that go, why haven't you picked up your socks and everything else? Career, so for me as a homeschooling mom, I've got the homeschool there as well as my side hustle. And then also for finance is tracking our expenses on a daily or at least regular basis. So that one here, because it is such an established habit of mine now, I don't need to do it every day. So I do it every second day, or sometimes I do miss more than 1 or 2 days. So those, it's important that I, once again, where are we? That to have a good balance, use make sure that you have at least a habit or a routine for these 7 areas, so then that way you do have a nice balance in your life. So the morning journal, so morning journal for me is one of my important habits that I need to make sure I am doing on a daily basis, because it's for 2 to 3 minutes, it's my time. I write down how I feel, why I feel that way, what can I do to make myself feel better, and what else, what is it that I'm grateful for. So morning journal is one of my top ones, and it's one of the things that you can see I do regularly, because I have recognized that I need to make sure that I am acknowledging my feelings. So then that way it gives me an opportunity to either give it space if I don't know yet why I'm feeling that way, or be able to respond to my emotions rather than react and be a cranky mom, or an emotional mess. So morning journal is one of the coping mechanisms that I have in my tool belt to make sure that I am coping a lot better than I used to a couple of years ago. Now, if you did watch my most recent live, I am going to see my doctor tomorrow to just help me put a mental health plan together, because the last 4 to 5 weeks, there have been feelings that I can't sort of snap out of. So I just want to make sure that everything is okay. I am going to be turning 48 in the beginning of January. So I don't know, maybe I'm in my early stage of menopause, I don't know, or maybe I'm lacking in certain vitamins or iron, I don't know. I haven't actually had any health check at all. So that's been a little bit irresponsible of me. And so that's where I'm going to make sure. So hang on a second. No, let's just go into the bathroom. But yeah, so my planning helps me cope a lot, helped me cope a lot better than I used to be 3 to 4 years ago. But it's important that then now I make sure I need to figure out what's happening with my mentally or maybe even physically. Maybe I'm going through menopause a little bit earlier. Who knows? I'll find out tomorrow. My doctor and I can talk about it tomorrow. Okay, so we have 5-year journal. So let me show you which one is my 5-year journal. So let me zoom out a little bit. So this is my Filofax personal size Malden in pink, and I keep my 5-year journal in here. So again, it's just to note down, I don't fill it in all the time, but it's just a nice, who here did Dear Diaries back when they were teenagers? I know I did the Dear Diary today, my friend, um, you know, um, said something mean or whatever. So I've always had a diary or a journal from, I think, primary school or elementary school. Yeah, so let me know if you have always had a journal or a diary. Let's have a look. So let's quickly just check the chat for a second. So Elle tracks, has a habit tracker or notepad each day. We've got Jennifer. Yes, Jennifer has actually one of mine. Thank you, Jennifer. Not, and I'm using yours and love it. Thank you so much. Wondering how you make time to do all of these. Jennifer, it's part of my self-care. So instead of doing other things like, so just think of something you enjoy doing, maybe gardening or knitting or crocheting. This is my form of self-care and my hobby, I guess. And so it was actually just all personal stuff that I did this. And then it was through my sharing of and my daily planning through Instagram that people ask, if I sold the things that I make and use for myself. And that's where it all started. It was actually a form of self-care and a form of therapy, because I found that if you focus on something when you are having cloudy thoughts, it allows you to focus on 1, 2, 3, or a step by step, or tracking your habits, and it's less likely that those cloudy thoughts eat into your mind. So I make time for it, and it's been a wonderful opportunity that it has also become part of my side hustle and being able to contribute to the household financially, because I am a full-time homeschooling mum to my youngest, and so it's a great passion, and at the same time being able to provide financially. So you got to make time, but if you can't make time for it, maybe it's not just part of the priority yet. So I know others might have more higher priorities, whether school, work, family. But if your goal is to create new habits or maintain good habits, habit tracking is one way of doing that. Budgeting Mama, a year ahead, go the 40s. If you're feeling tired in your eye, yes, probably my iron. I don't even know how iron is measured or what you need for that. So tomorrow, hopefully, I'll make sure that I note that down and tell my doctor. Budgeting Mama used to have a journal. Really like to use a tracker. However, can't stick to it. Just have, don't worry, don't use something like I have to start with, because it's gonna get so overwhelming. And you, as you saw when I first, well, I don't know if you joined me a little bit earlier in the video. I started 5 years ago, and there were many months where it wasn't complete, and it wasn't right time for me. So, but now it's I discovered that it's a form of therapy, self-care, and reward. So it hit 3 things for me, which at first I thought was just, you just fill in trackers to have pretty pages so you can put on back then Pinterest and now on Instagram. Yes, it is. I didn't know it until later down the track. So it wasn't until probably the end of last year that I went, oh, I enjoy habit tracking. I enjoy planning. It is not a waste of time, because instead of going out, maybe, doing some other things, this is my hobby. So yes, it is. It's wonderful. Lab work is usually okay. Yeah, I think that's what I need to do. I think I'm eligible to get a full physical stuff, which I didn't take advantage of, or I didn't do 3 years ago. So naughty mom, naughty Marianne, but make yourself sure that you get yourself checked mentally and physically. And yeah, so uh, make time for it only if you want to and if you can. So if you can't, um, uh, do some other ways to create the habits that you want to create. So let's get right back into it. Thank you everyone for your beautiful comments in the chat. And so as I said, this is my 5-year journal. Also created this, so it's just a few lines. So how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 lines each day for 5 years. So and then I also print out, a memory page, however many I need to. So this was August printout. So I use my HP Sprocket printer. And so this one here is only up half of the year, July to December. I do have another personal planner where I have the January to June. And so I split it up because I know it will get chunky with a lot of pictures after 5 years. But what a beautiful way to be able to look back. Oh, I'm spitting, sorry. To look back at memories. And it's like a lot of them are just mundane entries, so you don't have to think up of, beautifully curated journals. So it's just like, today we had pizzas, today I woke up late, we started homeschool. So it doesn't have to be poetic entries. So 5-year journal, read, learn, of course my social media posts, making sure that I am I am visible on Instagram and on YouTube to be able to create that momentum. So I meditate, make the bed. You know what? If there is one thing that you can do, if you can make your bed daily, uh, it gives you a sense of accomplishment. So if you're new to habit tracking, maybe just track making your bed every day. And if you already do that, it's already a habitual thing, try and stack something on top of it. Maybe do a morning stretch, whatever it is, whatever habit you have already established, see if you can stack on a new one or one you want to establish either before it or after it. I think I think it's Alex Hermosi. I don't know if I said his last name correctly, where he wanted to make sure that he, drank 6 to 8 glasses of water. And then he said that, he's always in the kitchen to make coffee. So he had his water bottle next to that. So then he was also, so make it easy for yourself. If, you want to drink more water, go and have it close by. I have mine in a clear tumbler, so then I can see that oh, I need to drink more water, it's still full. So connect, coffee, clean. So a lot of these are just the habitual stuff. Prep lessons for homeschool, coffee. So this one, I think instead of cleaning beforehand, this is where I'm going to put my workout and then clean up. Just one task for me. It doesn't have to be the whole house. Side hustle task, side hustle. So a lot of it is the same as November's because, apart from the workout being at the bottom here, I'm just now pop it in the, I can't do workout in the morning. And I know I enjoy working out later at night, but then I leave it too late. And then, of course, I have that excuse of, it's too late for me to be, working out. So I'm going to have it in the middle of the afternoon because around about this time after homeschool, my older son arrives. So then I can then go down. We have a little gym in our apartment block, so I can go down and go on the treadmill. Clear my email. So who here loves a clean email inbox? I don't like it when I can see, you know, that little mark that says you have however many unopened or unread emails. So I love clearing the email, and so sometimes my email is my action list, you know, so I will leave things in there that I know that I have to um, uh, look at, track or follow up. So my email is another form of my, you know, to-do list. Also photo dump. So I try and delete double pictures or multiple pictures in my phone. So then that way it's not using up too much storage. Photo dump, PM skincare, and then just at the bottom, a water intake. Water intake. So I normally would just write, you know, 5, 6, 8, 7, or none, or 3, and then that way I can see if I am tracking my water intake. Now, let's have a look. Daily habit is to get my emails to 0. Yes, I love it when it's nice and clean. It's empty. It means I've looked at things, or I've followed up, or I moved things to another month. So yeah, that's one of the things that I do enjoy, is seeing a nice empty inbox, or at least, you know, only a 2 to 3 there where I'm just following things up. So there we are. That's my habit tracker for the month of December. Now, the other thing that I do is, for things that I don't do on the weekend, is I just make a little cross. So if there's habits that, you know, like for example, workout. If you know you don't want to work out on the weekends, just do a little line through it. So then that way, if you know, because you're not going to mark it, it doesn't look like you didn't do it. You can clearly see that, you know, it's, you're not doing homeschool or whatever it is that you're not doing on the weekend or on certain days. Just put a little diagonal cross through it. And I think here, I don't know yet, but let me just put, I know here we're already on school holidays, so I won't be needing to do prep of lessons or homeschool. I think the holidays start here. So yeah, just put a little cross through it. That way you don't feel bad if it's, marked empty. Now I just use my, as you can see here, I use my Zig Clean color dot markers. It's got 2 sides. You've got the soft cushy side to make the circles, and depending on the pressure you put on the page, the bigger or small the dots. So let's have a look. So just light pressure, small dot. Heavy pressure, bigger dots. So, but you don't have to have a dot marker, because they can get quite expensive if you purchase quite a few. So you can just use any, fine tip marker. So let's say that's the square of each. Oh, well, there's a grid on this. Why am I drawing squares? So normally I will do little diagonal lines to put, to say I've completed a routine. You can do just an X. You can color it in. So whatever way you want to mark that you've completed a habit, whether it's dots, little X, little ticks, coloring in the box, whatever will satisfy you to say that you've completed and give you that motivational oomph to show progress, then do that. So yeah, again, you don't have to have all the stationery. Do with what you have at home. Okay, so let me just quickly double check where I'm at. Now, of course, if you are getting value from today's video, make sure you give it a like and a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet subscribed, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that bell to get notified of when I do upload. I think I'm going to be uploading quite a bit in this month, only because there's a lot of things that I've had on my to-do list to have create videos, and because I'm going to make a lot of stuff for myself for the new year, I'm going to video it. So things like I need to make some new, let's have a look, is this right? I need to make some new clear divided tabs. For this is my content planner. At the moment, I'm just using paper tabs here, and I'm going to want to make clear divided tabs like these using my laminating sheets and label maker. So let me know in the chat, what sort of videos do you want to see from me? Make sure that I'm showing the things that you'll be interested in watching. So now let's so what habits are you guys wanting to create for the month of December or into the new year? Is there something that's not, you've been having a hard time, like I am with workout? So I've moved my workout in different times of the day. I think I may have to sign up for a gym because I can't do it myself. So I need maybe to get an expert, because a few years back I did the boot camp 3 days a week, 6:30 in the morning, went to the park with the personal trainer and other groups of women, and I did well. I lost the weight and I was fit, I was healthy. So maybe I have to go and join the gym instead of trying to do it myself. So what if you try and do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result? That's the sign of insanity. Is that the quote? But yeah, so it hasn't been. So I think I need to go and maybe join a gym. Maybe they're going to do some specials. Let's have a look. Email cleaning is also getting rid of that illustrious number of unread emails, but it's a great opportunity to go through it and unsubscribe to any of the shops that you maybe had subscribed to, get the discounts or the $20 off if you spend this much. Maybe a great opportunity to unsubscribe from a lot of email or online retailers. Track your steps. So I've got the Apple Watch that helps track my steps. So that's pretty good. And at the moment I am my goal is 5,000 or over. I know an ideal number of steps is 10,000, but as a stay-at-home homeschooling mom, and I do my side hustle from home, I'm going to start with 5,000 first and then move up to there. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you so much for sticking around. Make sure to come back and replay when you have time. So I'd love to see you there. So let's have a look. So that's my habit tracker. And then the only other thing on this spread here is my mood and sleep tracker. So I have already filled that in. So I've made like this little dash line here. That's at 6.5 hours. So that's my ideal goal at the moment. I am falling below that. So maybe that's because I'm lacking in some vitamins or iron or whatever. So so they say that, of course, there's no point trying to be healthy and work out. And, if you want to try and lose weight, if your sleep is less than, it's only 3 to 4 hours, because it doesn't work. So here, the mood, I color code my mood. So green is great with a question, an exclamation mark. Orange is a good day. Yellow is meh, neither here nor there. Blue for me is I'm tense or I'm anxious, tense, anxious. And then pink is when I'm sad or angry. So let me quickly show you my November mood and sleep tracker. And Here we are. Let me take this clear divider tab so it's not glaring. Pop this one back. So as you can see, this is when I started to feel quite sad, and this was the case in October. There was a few sad moments as well. And then that's where a tracker is so good, because then you can start seeing the pattern. So if it was just a one-off and I know it's around about this time of the month, then I have an explanation. But then when it was a few low moments, not just in this month, but also in the previous month, then that's when it triggered that I can't figure out why I'm low. And then here, now these moments here in my sleep tracker, it's not that I didn't sleep, it's just my Apple Watch and sleep tracker, no battery. And instead of trying to guess it, I don't know, so but yeah, so pink is less than 5 hours, yellow is over 5 hours but less than 6.5, and then green is over my 6.5 hour ideal goal number of sleeps. So let me just pop this back, and is that where it belongs? Oh, here. So that's my habit, mood, and sleep tracker. The next thing for you to do is watch the video that I have in the link in the link in the description below, or once this live is processed, you'll be able to click or tap on the screen where I show you how I use my habit tracker to create and review my monthly goals. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I appreciate you so much, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye.